Hey guys, Rick here from MVP Sports here to talk to you guys a little bit about the NBA draft because today, Wednesday, is pretty much over. We're into Thursday, April 10th, and one thing is clear about the draft, one thing's not. The thing that's clear is Joel Embiid is going to leave Kansas, no longer a Jayhawk. He's going to the NBA. On the other hand, Julius Randle, reports came out and said he will leave Kentucky. But Randall came out and tweeted and said, no. I'm not going to make the jump to the NBA so fast. I don't know if I'm going to stay. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about Embiid, then go into Randall. With Embiid right now, most of the mock drafts I'm looking at either have Embiid or Andrew Wiggins at number one. And to me, with the NBA draft is a different animal. And it's all because of the lottery, because it depends on what team even gets the number one pick. If a team like the Pistons or the Kings, somehow the lottery ball bounces their way and they get the number one pick, they're not going to go with a guy like Embiid because Detroit's got Drummond and DeMarcus Cousins is in Sacramento. So they're not going to go with a big man. They're going to go with a guy like Wiggins. Or even if, let's say, they're the second pick and a guy like Jabari Parker comes out, a guy who we don't know if he's staying at Duke or coming out. If Parker comes out, then even if they're sitting at two, they're like, oh, well, we're not going to take Embiid. We're going to take Parker because we don't need a big man. If everything sits as it is right now, records stay the same, the Milwaukee Bucks should be, and I use the air quotes because usually the worst team in the NBA doesn't get the first overall pick. I know that. I'm a Bulls fan. That's why we got Derrick Rose. But I feel like if Milwaukee got the number one pick, or Philly, or Orlando, there would be a lean towards Embiid, but it's not fully towards Embiid. There'd be a little bit like, okay, do we take Wiggins? Do we take Joel? And I feel like it's because we saw what Wiggins could do. In his last game, 4 points against Stanford in a 3-point loss, bounced out of the tournament, and Embiid didn't play. To me, blessing in disguise that Embiid missed the last 6 games of the season because we didn't see a poor performance out of him in the national tournament. He still is looking like roses. So to me, I feel like, and this yet again depends on how the lottery ball bounces, but let's just say for the sake of argument, the order is what it is now. Milwaukee's got the number one pick. They'd go Embiid. I feel like go Embiid. They'll go with their big man and try to build around it. Then Wiggins Parker. If by chance, let's say on the other end, Detroit Sacramento get the first overall pick, a team like that that has a big man, then it's going to be Wiggins Parker Embiid. That's what I think. Going over to Julius Randle, though, the other guy, hasn't come out. 2 things with me. There are 2 factors that should decide if Randle stays or comes out. Number 1, am I keeping my head coach? There's been stories circulating. There was a huge tweet that came out the night of the national championship from Rex Chapman that basically said that, hey, you know what, Coach Cal is going to go to LA next year to be the head coach of Mamba's Lakers. Whoa, what's going on? And then it's not true. So, number 1, is my coach staying? Number 2, are my teammates staying? Because we all know with the Coach Calipari system, it's one and done. Freshmen come in, they play, they leave. Freshmen come in, they play, they leave. Rinse and repeat. You guys get the point. And Kentucky started 5 freshmen this year. Well, if all 5 of the freshmen stay, 4 of Randall's teammates, sure, I'm staying. We're going to make another run because if you made it to the national and I know March Madness, the tournament, she can be a cruel mistress or she can be the best lover in the world. It's a tale of 2 with her. This year, she was on the good side to Kentucky. That might change next year. Could be an upset. But chances are, you had a pretty solid team this year. All freshman starting lineup. Calipari coaches them to the national title. Yes, you did lose. But Shabazz Napier, I will say, first off, UConn best backcourt in the tournament. Second off, Shabazz Napier was just hungry. He was the hungry Husky on that team, and there was no stopping him. Chances are, though, you keep those 5 freshmen for Kentucky, there's a good chance you're going back to the national title. There's even a better chance, and I know Kentucky fans might want to hear this, but I know Coach Calipari wouldn't. They'd be a preseason number 1 if they kept all their starters. No doubt, preseason number 1 like they were this year. But let's say 2 out of the 4 other starters, besides Randle, say, yeah, you know what, we're going to go to the NBA. Now if I'm Randle, I'm relooking at things, and I'm going, yep, you know what, I'm going to leave as well because my chances of getting to the championship are not as good. To me, those are the only 2 factors that play into Randle's decision. Is Coach Calipari staying? Are my teammates staying? If both of those answers are yes, he stays at Kentucky. If one of those answers is no, he leaves. And it's plain and simple. That's what I think. I'm going to ask you guys now, what do you think? First off, Joel Embiid, where does he get drafted? I know he's a top 5 pick, but does he go number 1, number 2, or number 3, depending on if Parker comes out? Second question, dealing with Randle. Does he stay or does he go? Is he going to leave for the NBA? Is he going to stay with the Wildcats? You guys tell me what you think down below. Anything that I talked about today, stories, the mock drafts I looked at, everything. Down below in the description. Hit the subscribe button. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at MVP Sports Real. You can follow me on Twitter at Ricky Widmer. You can tweet at me. Tell me what you think. Tweet at MVP Sports. We'll get it. We'll conversate with you that way. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I said that again. And as always, have a good day, everybody.